about to have the opening face-off between the United States and the Iroquois Nationals. The U.S. needs to kind of keep the Iroquois in check early. Jeremy Thompson taking the opening draw against C.J. Costabile.
It's an unreal feeling. The game of lacrosse means a lot to our people. We play it with a lot of heart, we play it with a lot of passion. I play lacrosse for our community, for our people.
We are definitely ambassadors of the sport. We feel very honored to do it.
I'm playing for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to entertain our creators.
Okay, take a knee, you guys. Take a knee, take a break for a little while. Well, I'll never be able to replace what the game has given to me as a person. My father played, my grandfather played, his grandfather played, and how far do we want to go back? Lacrosse is an original Haudenosaunee game. The Haudenosaunee, whom the French call Iroquois, and whom the English call Six Nations. We played it when this earth was covered with water. On the other side, the game was played before the earth. It has that relevance in the Haudenosaunee. It's part of our spiritual process. It's part of our ceremonies.
Every spring, we have a medicine game, which is a lacrosse game within our community. We go out, we play for the creator. Once the ball goes up, everyone screams. Lets the creator know that we're starting this game and that we're playing for him.
We were always playing lacrosse, no matter what. 400 years ago, we were playing the game. 300 years ago, 200 years ago, 100 years ago. And in 1891, somewhere around there, Canada outlawed the Iroquois team because they called us professionals.
We got shut out of leagues because we were so good, and certain ones wouldn't play with us because we were good. It's really quite amazing because our populations aren't that huge, yet we have quite a few world-class lacrosse players.
My father he's a Hall of Fame lacrosse player, one of the best goalies that ever played the game. He played an undefeated season at Syracuse University before I was born. He was, making his mark.
In 1983, we approached the Grand Council of the Haudenosaunee and asked them if they would sanction representing the Haudenosaunee as a national team.
When Oren first proposed to me this idea of the Iroquois Nationals, I thought he was a little crazy. And I said, well, is it really going to work? Can we really get into this international federation? Will people really stand and recognize the Haudenosaunee as a nation? But one thing I've learned from Oren, if you don't take a chance, it may never happen. So I said, let's jump in there. Let's do the best we can, doing all the politicking, all the diplomacy, and all of the arm twisting possible to get something like this done.
They approached us probably around the 82-83 period. At that time, the federation consisted of Australia, England, Canada, and US. And Canada and US had a particular viewpoint. Australia and England had a slightly different viewpoint.
There were some countries that were not in favor of adding another country. I felt that our philosophy should be an inclusive organization. They're creators of your sport. They want to be playing internationally, and they brought a lot of positive things to our sport and will continue to do that.
So I got the call at 4 a.m. in the morning from Roundballs, and he said, good news. And I said, well, it better be good news. It's 4 a.m. And he said, well, your team is invited to compete in the World Games as a full member nation. And so we became the 5th nation of the Federation of International Lacrosse.
I was on the original Iroquois national team in its inception. They sent out invitations for tryouts, so we had a bunch of players from home show up and all around the other nations, Cattaraugus, Akwesasne, Tuscarora, and we put a team together.
And he had a vision about the future of not only having our nation, the Haudenosaunee, recognized, but actually being able to compete on an international level. yeah, it's a great idea, but is it really possible for us to compete against the United States, Canada? We taught the Canadians over 150 years ago how to play lacrosse, and they've been playing steadily at an international level and winning.
In the early days, it was real humble beginnings. You know, there was no budget. We were coming from different areas and different nations, so it was really hard to get organized and to gel in any kind of real solid way.
We went to Perth, and we were thoroughly beaten by each team, but didn't discourage us. We moved on, and the next games were in Baltimore, Maryland, 1998. We beat England for the first time. I have to take some pride in that goal because it was Rex's goal in the last 15 or 20 seconds of the game.
My father took so much pride in that goal. To finally win on the national stage during the World Games was a huge victory for us.
And then 2010, we probably had the best team that you never saw.
The Iroquois Nationals are the #4 ranked team in the world. 23 lacrosse players representing the Iroquois Confederacy, a council of 6 Native American tribes living in upstate New York and Canada, 125,000 people in all, who consider themselves a nation apart from the United States. They were supposed to be playing right now in the World Lacrosse Championships in Manchester, England. But last week, both the U.S. and the U.K. said they wouldn't honor these Iroquois-issued passports used by the tribe since the mid-1970s because they didn't meet new post-9/11 security standards.
Obviously, they want to protect their borders. However, I don't believe the 23 world-class athletes really pose that much of a national security threat.
The option that was given to us is that we get a U.S. passport and there'll be no problem. We said, of course, we're not going to do that.
Our team stuck together. No one decided to go. We were going to represent. We weren't going to go unless we were going to go travel on our own passports.
I thought it was a success that we didn't go because we stood up for who we are as a people.
After forfeiting 2 games and getting turned down again today by the UK, the Nationals are officially heading home.
1, 2, 3! They would have been better served by saying, right, okay, we have a responsibility to the lacrosse family, therefore we know we can travel on other passports, so we will go. Because they are, I mean, you know, they are Americans and Canadians. You know, I can't see how they can ever become a nation. It's rather like there isn't even a geographical entity.
We don't have borders. We don't put a line up and say this is mine. And we never had a line between our confederacy, the Mohawk, Naira, Onondaga, Cayuga, Seneca, and later the Tuscarora came in. But we never had a border line between us. We can't be fighting over what's everybody's. Nobody owns the woods. And that's the ultimate struggle as a people with our own language, our own culture, our own songs, our own identity.
I think sometimes they see that Haudenosaunee passport as a spit in the eye or something, like it's against them, you know, against the U.S. And not really, no. It was in 1613, but they were just getting here. They weren't even the United States yet. When we saw these Dutch people come in and we said, let's talk about our relationship. You know, you're you, we're us, this is how it will be.
What we believe the core of the problems is coming from the doctrine of discovery. And those things were made back in the 1500s and are still active today. They're active today in the U.S. courts.
And it was Alexander VI, the Pope, in 1493, who said, if there are no Christian nations in these new lands that you have discovered, I declare those lands to be empty. Further, if there are people there and they're not Christians, then they do not have a right of title to land. So with that statement, that ranging statement for the whole Western Hemisphere, opened, as far as Europe was concerned, the lands to colonization, Christian doctrine. And we've suffered the consequence of that.
So we were savages and heathens and pagans to them, that they could take those over and claim them for the king and queen. And they use the term terra nullius, which means like void. that's, you know, empty lands. These lands were not empty. We have a strong culture, a strong faith, strong religious beliefs which are intertwined in our life. It's not just about going to church on Sunday. It's every day. We wake up, we give thanks for everything that the Creator provides us here on earth.
In the year 1900, there was a census taken for how many Native people were living in the United States. And there was somewhere around 250,000. And in 1493, the estimates of the Native people here in North America, estimates of the population anywhere from 10 to 16 million. So obvious question is, what happened to 16 million people?
Sometimes the other, those who are not allies, decide that we need to go away. And we feel it. There's times in our lifetimes where we felt like, you know, we're wished away. This is no way to bring up a child where they have that feeling inside that they should not be here. Okay? We are here.
Has been this 4-year wait, which is actually an 8-year wait, because it was 4 years waiting for the games and now 4 years waiting for the next games.
Welcome to ESPN's coverage, Team England and the Iroquois Nationals from Denver, Colorado. These two teams did not meet 2010 as the Iroquois were not allowed in the country.
For some people, I have a feeling there's going to be that little chip on their shoulder because they didn't let us come to England. For me personally, I'm just gonna go out there and play lacrosse the way that I grew up learning how to play lacrosse.
You have to play with the clear mind, you know, when you're playing lacrosse. You can't go out there and say, I'm gonna hurt this guy. You know, if you have frustration or anger in your heart, you're just not gonna play well.
What happened in 2010 happened in 2010. When it's for medicine, you play the game in its purity with just a good mind and a good heart.
When I talk about the good mind, I talk about giving good thoughts. I give thanks to the Creator that, you know, for giving me this game. Sometimes I feel like crying because I'm overwhelmed. I'm so happy. If I had to shed a little tear, I let it out. And that's what makes me, you know, continue on to my game, makes me grateful. I feel content. I feel calm until that first whistle. And after that, it's putting your best effort out there. And that's what I do.
To watch them practice, and it was a moment I'll never forget, watching these guys zing the ball around. I mean, it's hard to describe the difference and the uniqueness of the way they handled the pill, the passes they make that they shouldn't be able to make, and the shot making. It was beautiful. I felt like I was in a lacrosse paradise watching these guys practice.
It's the sixth sense. I mean, they know where their teammates are at all times. They have trust in one another. And they take chances, too, so when they capitalize and they're clicking, it is a beautiful thing to watch because it's not your traditional type of lacrosse. These guys really work off of instincts.
Everybody generalizes our play as being creative, I guess risky, and unorthodox. From time we can run up until that we were 10 years old, we just did whatever we want in the backyard and tried new things. So I think that unorthodox type of play is what throws a lot of the countries off and a lot of the teams off because they don't know what to expect.
Lyle Thompson, the right-handed player, puts it in his left hand, one-handed, slings it. This ball's moving, Q, right here. Swims it. That's insane.
And the Iroquois Nationals will milk this clock.
At the end of the game, when Miles did get slashed in the neck, to target Miles and Lyle Thompson, that's obvious. And teams have to do that. They have to play dirty. They have to double, triple team and lay the wood, try to hack. That's the only way you're gonna have any chance of stopping these guys, and even that doesn't work. If I was that defender, I'd be a little scared too. He shoots well over 100 miles an hour, so that would have left quite a mark. The Iroquois let their play do the talking, and I think that's the right way to go about it. You know, I mean, Miles and Lyle both play the game with a clear state of mind, and they play the game for all the right reasons, so that's not going to get to them like it would some other players.
You handed them a lesson tonight. That's the game that we should have played over there.
15-4 final. The Thompson family with a great debut here in Denver. Okay, the Thompsons this week, it's been like the Beatles. The kids following them everywhere they go. Lyle Thompson, his brother Miles, you've got Jerome, and then Jeremy, 74. First time since they were tykes to play together on the same team.
Something that we've always wanted. Every team we've played on, we've always said that one day we're gonna play on the same team together.
It takes me back to my childhood memories playing in the backyard with my brothers.
You know, it was a dream come true at the highest level. That's something we all wanted to do, and, you know, it happened. And it was just a good feeling for the family.
Makes us work harder to all make it happen. You know, me and my brothers, we all describe each other as different animals to bring a part of, you know, the original story of the game between the animals.
The medicine game, the original medicine game, the first game that was ever played, it was before humans were ever on Earth, and it was played by the winged animals against the land animals. Each animal has an attribute that makes them a good lacrosse player.
They refer to my brother Lyle as the hawk or the eagle because he can see the floor really well.
Miles, he's a bear. He's big, he's not fast, but he uses his body the right way. Got good hands. Bears, they can catch salmon out of a creek.
My brother Heina is considered the wolf because he plays well with a pack with his brothers.
Jeremy, he's the deer. He's our leader. And in our culture, the deer is the leader of all the animals. He takes charge of the team, put the team in a certain direction, and let them follow him. You know, the more you come together as a team, the better you are going to play as a team.
And now, please join us in honoring the Iroquois Nationals.
It was in England in '94. One of the managers that was taking care of the event came over and said, can we have a copy of your anthem? And we said, well, we don't have an anthem. Well, he says, you know, everybody has an anthem. So I put a prayer to music. You'll hear the words, Hunchik. That's the players, that's the game. It's a thanksgiving to the Creator for the game. I really appreciate the quality of friendship, brotherhood that's being exhibited here by one and all. When I watched those teams come on the field the other day, I felt a great sense of achievement. If this game can unite the world in the four corners as it's trying to do in this brotherhood, that's our gift. That's what we offer the world.
Representing your nation, literally, sort of like the Olympics for us, you know? And it's really our national sport. So having the opportunity to participate in a nationals organization is really a key to how we see our existence as a sovereign people in this country. And it transcends to the other 565 Indian nations that are recognized by the federal government to push forward indigenous sovereignty, not only in this country, but around the world.
The other day, we were honored by the people from New Zealand, and they made a very specific request to have an exchange.
He kai tiaki, he kai kōrero.
What we presented was a haka. A haka is a traditional Maori challenge. So the haka was named Fiuporoe, which means the stick that throws the ball. It is an acknowledgement. The first part talks about the Six Nation people, how they brought the game into the world.
It was beyond powerful. I mean, it was heart-touching. It was full body. You know, you had all kinds of emotions going on inside and out. Two group of peoples come together. They were able to come together with peace and harmony and share their own story.
All of our people, Iroquois people, send greetings to your people. When you hear this message, they wish to be at peace of mind. Anytime we get together before a game, we have greetings to creation and to help remember where the game came from, keep a spiritual aspect of it, to play a good, hard game with a peaceful mind and good intentions.
I think this idea of community is so fundamental to survival now, and the idea of sharing, and our ability to share this game.
They've said that lacrosse has been a medicine for them. It's brought happiness to their community. So it's something that we realize that, you know, that's been a part of our lives, that's helping out different communities throughout the world.
It's important for the human species to recognize itself as what it is, a family. We're a family. Doesn't matter what color we are. We can exchange blood. You can't get any closer than that.
Scrimmage? Yeah. Oh, practice, let's go.
In order to survive, we have to look after one another. Circumstances change, but fundamental principles never change. Not only to the people, but to all life. And so when you go back to that lacrosse stick, that hickory, representing all of these trees that surround us, all the trees of the world are in that stick. And the gut that makes the net is the deer. And all the animals are represented in that stick. That's why that wooden stick is so important. That's our direct relationship to the earth.
Making sticks is very important to me because the people of Onondaga Nation, the traditional way we've always played our game, we still do. And we can only play that game with a wooden stick. This piece is taken, put on a bandsaw, and cut smaller. So after you dry it, you put this into the steamer, then you take it out and you bend it all the way around. Secure the wire, and then you just pop it right off. When it's dry, then it's taken out and hand carved on this carving bench. And of course, there's box sticks, field sticks, tack sticks, and I make all of those. I pick hickory nuts. I take them into the forest and I plant them in the ground here and there and everywhere. I just don't take the tree. I give thanks to the Creator for the tree, and I plant trees. You don't just take in this life, you have to give back.
As a kid, you know, a lot of kids like to carry around a teddy bear or a blanket, stuff like that. For me, it was my lacrosse stick, and wherever I was bringing my stick, and I slept with that stick every night. I remember one time I actually left that stick outside overnight, and my father seen it in the morning. He woke me up and he had this big long talk with me about respecting the game and respecting my stick and respecting everything in life.
We have a ceremony. We thank the hickory tree, the ash tree, for giving its life so we can play the Creator's game. And that's why when you get a stick, there's a relationship that begins. This is my stick that's very dear to me. You know, this is a very important part of my life. It's been with me as long as I can remember, and it's going to be with me on the other side. It's pretty comforting.
Iroquois national team is what it is. If anything, you know, we missed them in 2010 in Manchester, you know, they would have presented another dynamic challenge for that group, but they're here now and they're stronger than ever. They have incredible talent and incredible skill. They develop talent very uniquely, which is always fun to watch and difficult to defend.
All right, let's have a great game. You've obviously been honored by your nations to represent them here today. Now let's honor the game.
Defense. How about Taylor Smoke, air traffic control? Hey, drop. What's you got two in the air? I got two in the air, one bottom side. Back. Hey, you go. USA took control of this game early in the first quarter. Final score was 18-5.
We're the best of the best, you know, USA, but I thought we could have done a lot better. And if we do face them again, you know, it's going to be definitely a better game. There you go, man.
Oh, thanks, man. No problem. Again. You do have an immense amount of pride representing this team. Ever since you're a little kid, that's what you're working up to. You look at those guys. I looked at my dad, you know, he played for the Iroquois Nationals, and we wanted to be them. We wanted to represent, you know, our nation.
My boss, when I went to Denver, he was so proud that I was going to Denver, and like, he helped me out so much. I told him from the get-go, you know, like I might have to miss work here or there for lacrosse, and he was like, ah, that's all right, you know, like as long as you come to work and you work hard, I won't have no problems with it.
There's nothing better than waking up in the morning and going to work and then coming home to my family, and then after I come home from my family, I gotta go play lacrosse most of the time too, so.
Here we go.
Lacrosse isn't as big as some other sports. It does make it tough because there's not too much money in the sport, so we have to, you know, we actually have to get jobs, and, you know, I'm a police officer on the reservation, so I made sure to go to work every day and save up my vacation time. It's a dangerous job for sure. I mean, it's definitely not. It's not sitting at your desk doing paperwork all day. That's for sure. I don't mind putting myself out there. That's why we kind of signed up.
Sir, you want to step back to my car, please?
People around here believe that we're sovereign people. They don't want to be policed by any outside agency that doesn't really know them. We're such a tight-knit community. We're so small, everybody knows each other, and you want the whole community to be better as a whole.
This is a very, very grueling, hard tournament. All of the teams who have been competing up to this point are hurting.
Lacrosse has such high demands in terms of the fact that it's going so quickly for so long. So we're seeing, you know, muscle cramps, Charlie horses.
The physical toll that it takes on your body, you know, 8 games in 9 days, you know, that's a tough thing to do. You know, you get banged up, and you know, you just got to play through it.
It's very competitive, very physical, and certainly it takes a lot out of your, you know, body to compete at that level in terms of running, stopping, cutting, battling for ground balls, and all that type of thing. But you know, these are elite athletes. They have great stick work. They have great understanding of the game. They've played the game for a long time, and I'm sure once the adrenaline gets going and competitive juices start flowing, that, you know, they're ready to play at the drop of a hat.
If they win tomorrow, it's going to be the first time that the men's team has ever medaled, and it's something that keeps coming up, that they want to win this for the community and for everyone who's worn the jersey before, and so they're carrying that weight pretty heavily.
You know, with the Iroquois Nationals playing Australia, and with me winning the gold medal, beating one of the greatest distance runners of all time, Ron Clark from Australia, I know Australia can be beaten. And I always thought, what could be better, or what would be missing? I thought there would be nothing greater than being on an all-indigenous team and show that we can be among the best in the world. And this team, they're showing that, and they're providing an inspiration for multitudes of young indigenous people worldwide.
This will be an incredible matchup. The third-place game, the Iroquois absent in 2010. They said they want to reclaim their game in 2014. They can place third for the first time ever.
Benjamin Newman took the face-off for Australia. Jeremy Thompson for Iroquois. And we are ready and underway. The ball on the turf now, and Iroquois is going to come up with a nice job by Thomas Motour.
The Australians are being very physical.
Lyle Thompson trying to work it in. Heck of a defensive effort by Callum Robinson. Here comes Iroquois, and on transition, Thompson's, they score. Lyle to Miles.
All of these Australians, they're quick, they're also unselfish, and they can shoot the pill.
The shot scored, ripping one from the outside, Nigel Thornton. Here's a shot and a score.
Here we go, baby, here we go, baby.
Feeds it in front. Shot scored, counted for Australia. They're within one.
We just got to stay tight on that crease there. This is what Australia does, though. They wear you down, they hang around. They give themselves a chance to win the game late.
The thing is, Australia has never finished worse than third ever.
They'd love to keep their place in the international scene, but the landscape is changing. The Iroquois will continue to scrap, fight, claw. They're a proud bunch. I've been impressed with them with every game that they've played.
we win this thing, it's going to mean so much more as a team, as a nation, everything that goes along with that. And, you know, this is a lot bigger than just lacrosse.
Thompson still with it, rockets it through. Lyle Thompson, look out. Another goal to make it 10-5, 11-5. Stotts puts it in for the 13th today for Iroquois. 14 now for the Iroquois. It can't be stopped today. Jamison makes it 15-5 Iroquois with 2:45 to go in this one, well on their way to the third place finish of the tournament. Third place in the tournament belonging to the Iroquois. 16-5 winners over Australia. Their best ever finish in the World Championships.
History has been made. The Iroquois wanted to come back to the World Championships to reclaim their game. They might not be walking home world champions, but they do walk home having taken a step forward in their international reputation, and they have been absolutely exhilarating to watch.
Oh my God, this is huge. We've been playing and trying for 31 years to get a medal. You know, we started the program in '83. It's the next generation. Most of the kids here are sons or nephews of the guys that played when I played back in the early '80s.
Starts with the Oran Lions. Starts with the Oran Lions, and we wouldn't be here without them. And so all this goes to Oran Lions and other players before us.
There it is. Next year, 2015, World Box Lacrosse. Come on down.
Welcome, everybody. On behalf of the Federation, I guess I would like to officially announce that the Indoor World Championships 2015 will be played in the Onondaga Nation.
The Haudenosaunee at the Onondaga Nation is hosting the World in 2015, which will be our pleasure, our honor, you know, to have the game come home.
For the nation, I think they're going to see some of the things of how we live, because some of the things that, you know, that are sit out there that are stereotypical, you know, that they think we still live in, you know, teepees, and that's not the case. We live as the average American, you know, in houses and stuff like that. The five of us, myself, my brothers, and then my sister and all their partners, my wife, my brother's wife as well, and all the girlfriends. So everyone pitches in. I think that's what it's all about, is, you know, being flexible, and, you know, everything that we do within our society is part of a one bowl theory kind of thing, where everyone's dipping in, everyone's sharing that bowl. I think that's why we're such a close-knit family. The idea of us all being together, because we all plan to build here, right on this lot. You see the driveway right here. We just started in this fall. My brother, Jerome Heine, he's going to start in springtime.
We were together 3 years before we had kids, so it was just me and him all the time. I'm just used to him being around. He's my best friend, so.
We have our bronze medals in here. Got them put away in a safe. This is all locked up. I play catch with these guys real, like we're playing now, like hard. I'd throw it right to them and they would catch it. They were novice, so they were like 9 and 10. Guys on the team couldn't believe that they could catch. That's why they'd been more advanced at their age, you know. They picked it up fast.
I'm real proud of my boys for what they're doing for the game of lacrosse. Being in Denver for the World Games, it was pretty exciting seeing how many people really look up to my boys.
Hi, Chief. Nice to see you again. Well, I would like to welcome you all back to the Nike campus to sign this contract, which we're extending our commitment, again, not just to you, the Iroquois national team, but also to the sport of lacrosse.
We brought lacrosse up to a very high standard. It's moving. It's exponentially exploding. And I think it is just the beginning. I think it's going to travel. And when we sign this, we get all our land back. Is that right?
All right.
Great partner, boys.
Thank you. There's one more thing. As you know from being on campus, we celebrate athletes that we partner with. So as you walk around campus, you can see the banners. And I'm very happy to say that we have a new banner for Jeremy Thompson. Yeah.
In 22 weeks, we have to execute a whole lot of infrastructure and logistics. I'm working with an amazing group of people who have a rich, complicated, traumatic, and vital history situated right in the middle of the United States of America.
Most people don't understand that there's a 6 mile by 6 mile country in the middle of upstate New York. The Haudenosaunee are definitely the smallest nation within the 13 nations that are competing.
My job is to pull them all together so that we can collaborate and create something that's really magical and really theirs.
This is a partnership. We're working with them. We have the experience from outside, but only they can tell their story.
We have to execute professional world indoor lacrosse games that hopefully are going to be carried on network television and broadcast to the world, and certainly going to be covered by the press. And we've got 13 countries coming, and we got 500 athletes to house, and balance that with a sensitivity to this amazing culture and way of thinking.
There's a lot to this. There's a big story that's taking place here that's beyond a contest, that's beyond even an international contest. It's about the original people of this land. It's about us, the Haudenosaunee, the Iroquois. It's about all of the work that we've done prior to this. Prior to the Continental Congress, 300 years of interface with colonies culminating here again. It's not new to us. It's not new to us.
This is CNN Breaking News.
An immensely popular figure will visit the United States next September. Pope Francis making his first trip as head of the Catholic Church. He will attend the World Meeting of the Families in Philadelphia.
Well, it's ironic that we're bringing the World Championship of Lacrosse here to Onondaga, that the Pope should also arrive in North America. Oren Lyons has been very involved in trying to get the Vatican to respond to this doctrine of discovery.
It's extremely active around the world today. And probably the best illustration of that is that at the hearing for the presentation of the Oneida land rights to the Aboriginal territories here, a Supreme Court justice spoke clearly and loudly that the basis of the land takings were based on the doctrine of discovery. That's what's prevailing.
We have this one opportunity with this particular Pope to make some inroads on this matter.
So we feel that with the Pope coming to the U.S., that maybe we could get a conversation with him or have an audience with him and to deliver a message. So what we did was, in the Grand Council, we made a series of letters to the Pope, and we also sanctioned by the Grand Council to have an invitation to meet. So we sent, in our tradition, we sent out invitation wampum. And then we also had a bundle of books and a letter. And this is what we were trying to get to the Pope, to sit down and talk about the doctrine of discovery.
All right, boys, thanks for coming back. Obviously, you know, Secor Darius is the head coach. He's my older brother.
I think you guys know what's going on here. We can only take 20 guys to the games, so it's, you know, highly competitive.
When they hired me, I made it clear there was no interview process that they've used in the past. I was picking my staff, no ifs, ands, or buts. Rich is going to be my head coach. Darius is going to run my offense. At the peak of their career, there was no better warriors than them on the floor. There were guys that played both ends of the floor. There were guys that fought. They did it all when they played, and they showed in their championships. They showed in their leadership. I remember I looked up to those guys. They played for Six Nations there 3 years.
Just go out there and play good, honest lacrosse. Respect the game, respect each other, give it your all. You know, make it tough on us to make some choices here. So line it up, here we go.
Let's go. Get it low, set a pick, set a pick. Let's go.
There's a lot of talent out here, so I mean, they definitely have their work cut out for them choosing this team. So it'll be interesting to see who makes it and who doesn't.
It's all building towards the men's national team. I mean, that's what we're all here for. And everyone from their hometown has their hometown colors and pride, but when we all come together to wear purple and gold, we're a strong force to be reckoned with.
The games are always in the back of my mind. You know, being one of the older guys in the team, trying out for my last World Indoor Games. Right now, I'm focused on the World Indoor Games in the fall. You know, each of my training sessions are leading up to those, and they're all culminating, so I'm always getting ready for the World Games and knowing that it could be my last shot.
Game-winning goal right here. Slam. Slam.
With my sons, I enjoy watching them, and I think the greatest gift that they could have is the love that they have for themselves and each other. It's something that I'm very proud of, that they had that bond.
My father's always been a part of my lacrosse career, even when he's not my coach. Whenever he would catch one of his son's games, he would have his input and advice, and anytime I have a question, I go ask or just talk about lacrosse or just life in general. My son and I play catch when my mom has some time, and she'll pick up her stick and play pass and catch with us.
My father has always stressed family first. Right from when I was 5 years old, I can remember him telling us, even on the lacrosse floor, family first, work or education second, and then lacrosse is third. As long as you put the things in that order, you're gonna have a pretty good life. Enjoy being outside, enjoying the calmness of nature. Those moments are priceless.
My first job was bending lacrosse sticks for Wesley Patterson down at the Big Red Barn, and Wesley was just a great influence, you know, as far as lacrosse goes, and the Iroquois Nationals came about, and Wesley was one of the guys to get it going, keep it going, and donate time, money, equipment. There's a lot of selfless things that made the Iroquois Nationals possible today. This is where the Iroquois Nationals started, right here in this barn. My dad worked here, my mom strung up sticks, and everyone kind of having to go into the natives to get a wooden stick. They were the only ones who knew how to make them. A lot of history here, a lot of history. This is taking me back to like 1975. It's unbelievable. This is where I spent my childhood. This is where I had my first job, where I got taught a lot of lacrosse, so. Let's go upstairs before I cry. Back in the day in Ontario, I bet you 90% of the sticks were made right here. Once Brine and STX came out with the plastic heads, that was the death of a wooden lacrosse stick. And, you know, it's really sad. Wesley was the first guy to invent a plastic head. He had thousands of them up here, and the only thing was they didn't know the chemicals, and once they put dye in some of them, they broke. They broke like plastic spoons and forks. Where Tupperware, you know, you can run over with your car, those things won't break.
Construction is well underway for the 2015 World Indoor Lacrosse Tournament. It's the first time the 10-day event will be held in the U.S. and on indigenous land. Crews are working every day to finish prepping the arena and tent space and a new multi-million-dollar Olympic-sized lacrosse facility. It's been a big investment for the Onondaga Nation. Chief Lyon says they've spent more than $4 million on infrastructure upgrades.
Last open tryout, there was a bunch of people there. They narrowed it down from there, so they almost have like their short list.
I think we still have 37 on the list, so we'll see how many guys show up. First of all, thanks for coming. Second of all, sorry, it's only freaking 10 of us.
A lot of the guys are right now, myself included, so I play for the Onondaga Redhawks. We're in playoffs right now. Last night, we played Josh Becker's team, Allegheny. He's here today, we're here today. Miles, Lyle, and Jeremy, they game in Florida. So they had to fly to Florida, play a Major League Lacrosse game, and then they took a flight this morning to Buffalo, and then we drove here.
Some guys couldn't make the big sacrifice of driving 2 hours, so I'll take the guys who show up and make some sacrifices. I'm not here to just show up and tell everyone I got to coach a national team. I'm here to go and try and win this thing. Take some pride in what you're doing here. This is a world championship, best in the world. I don't know what else to say, and again, it's just very sad to me.
situational things. We're going to go through our clear team, our press team. They want to stay and kind of chase us. Be patient. We can outrun them, move the ball quick, and get up the floor.
Canada has two official sports, national sports, hockey being one, lacrosse being the other. We're proud of that. Lacrosse and hockey mean a lot to Canadians.
I think with the box, it's very clear in history that it was the Canadian hockey promoters that took the field game, and they had the rinks, the outdoor rinks, they were called outdoor boxes, and when the ice went out in the summer, you know, they wanted their hockey players to keep busy and use those facilities to cross-train. So, you know, box lacrosse was created in the 30s.
I think box lacrosse has made field lacrosse better, but I'm biased because I'm Canadian.
When we first started the Iroquois Nationals, we kind of joked that we should have an immigration bureau, that we should have customs. And we invite these nations to our territory, we should do the same thing that happens to us, and we have to validate their citizenship. The important part of something like lacrosse spearheads these other things. It's a springboard to sovereignty. All of these other connections that we see. It's not just a game. It's not just a world championship. It's really about asserting our identity, our nationality, and our sovereignty through lacrosse. And that, to me, is the legacy that we're creating for the future.
There you are. Thank you very much. Awesome, I hope so. It's one of the most important days coming to get our passports checked, and it's Israel's first time coming to the World Indoor Lacrosse Championship as well.
I think it's very important that the Israeli government recognizes the Haudenosaunee nation. It's only natural for us as Jews who have been strangers in our own land to help those that have really felt shunned. Our people culturally know what it's like to be an outcast, to be not given the proper rights historically.
We've prefaced everything we've done with our athletes about what a great opportunity it is for them to represent the United States of America on a different soil. This is sovereign land, and they need to understand what that is all about. I think as part of that gesture, we wanted to come here as a team with our passports, you know, a show of solidarity.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good.
I think it just allowed a strong, unified front that said, hey, we're coming here, we're going to get them stamped and recognize them as a sovereign nation because of the people I've met, the Iroquois. They've been excellent people and certainly care about their country.
Sports kind of leads the way sometimes with these issues. It provides a great platform to start conversation. And as long as conversation's being had, change can be made.
We're kind of fortunate, I think, in the past couple of years, the revolution of the Thompson brothers and what they've done. And if you can educate more young Americans on why they're so good at lacrosse, and you combine that with, hey, this is their soil, and they were the first ones to be here, and the creators' game, I think that will really start to spark young kids' minds and be like, wow, now I have something I can relate to. It was a sport, and they played for thousands of years. And maybe that's the way that you can teach that in the American schools.
Team Canada chose to not have their passport stamped. And, you know, they made up all kinds of excuses as to why they weren't going to do that when every other nation had done so.
Game operations director Scott Neese called me and said Haudenosaunee would like all the players to have their passport stamped. And my viewpoint was, yeah, okay.
We had pre-scheduled already our team and what our functions were with the 3-day notice that we had. And our understanding was, and it was emphasized in the email from Rex Lyon from Chief Palace, was that it would be appreciated but not expected. And we communicated that to our players. We left it to our players.
I know that it wasn't a decision the team would have had their passport stamped somewhere. That was an instruction that you're never going to hear, I'm never going to hear.
Hey, Sagoran, how are you? Good job here, good job here.
I'm amazed at the production. I know they're wondering how the hell they do this. And it wasn't easy. This was a community action, community work, and it took a lot of people's energy to get where we are right now.
There's so many people, the volunteers, I mean, from our nation, everyone has stepped up unbelievably to make sure that every little detail is taken care of. The table decorations that you'll see tonight are from a Tuscarora woodworker. Everything was done by Haudenosaunee people. We had some runners that traveled from nation to nation to get everyone involved, explain what was happening, what the need was, and they came out in droves to help.
You move into the U.S. a couple of days earlier, and everything is very strict, and then you have this friendly atmosphere of the Iroquois hosting you in the nations, and you got your stamp on the passport. It's really quite an honor to have that.
Probably the best passport stamp in my passport. So yeah, it's a great experience.
The energy here, the spirit that's here, and the truth that's here is fantastic.
You know, I'm just very happy to have had the opportunity to be a part of history.
What an honor to have the Onondaga Nation and the Iroquois hosting this World Championship. It's fantastic.
Great. Thank you.
And I'm rooting for the Iroquois.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, a special welcome to Onondaga Faithkeeper, Chief Oren Lyons, with his Syracuse University undefeated lacrosse teammate, the legendary Jim Brown.
On behalf of the Onondaga Nation and the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, I'm very pleased to welcome you. We offer the World Indoor Lacrosse Championships of 2015 to all, in the spirit of healing, in the name of friendship, and with the goal of world peace. Go get them. Go get them, boys.
I'm Dean French, and I'm chairman of Team Canada Lacrosse.
I'm Satyai Hwade, and I am chief of the Beaver Claim. You'll have to excuse me, I had a stroke and I don't remember things. I can't tell you dates and so forth. I can tell you about what happened. Of
course.
But I can't tell you what day that happened. Unless we talk about June 25th.
Is that your birthday?
No, that's the day Custer got it.
Still have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been one of my real pleasures to meet Chief Paulus and to try to listen and to learn. I know Canada needs to do a better job of educating our next generation about the history and where our Native people fit into that history. As Chief Paulus has indicated, there's so much history before then that we don't know about.
And you won't.
No, if we don't listen.
Well, you won't listen. I'll tell you, what little we do remember, you're trying to find out in a couple of minutes from 1613 on today. Impossible. But that's what you guys do. That's what you do.
That's what they do.
And you come down with no knowledge whatsoever. Haven't studied us. You know who we are. You know our name. But you don't know about us.
Welcome to the On-Center War Memorial in Syracuse, New York, for a pivotal game in the 2015 World Indoor Lacrosse Championships between the favored Canadian national team and the homestanding Iroquois Nationals. This is what most people would say on paper is a preview of what's likely to be the gold medal game a week from now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Grammy Award-winning Haudenosaunee native Joanne Shenandoah.
In respect to our brothers and sisters from the North, as Iroquois people, we welcome you to the Musqueam territory and Canada. Ganada is an Iroquois word. But we wish you all well this day. Oh, Canada, our home and native land.
On the world stage, two huge rivals in lacrosse going head-to-head. It's definitely nerve-wracking the night before, but you realize you have a job to do, and you have to go out there and do your best, and hopefully you get the best results.
Just last thing, when you came in, I think you came to get your passport stamped. It was the first time that countries have been invited to get their passport stamped. So I think every...
You got a cut. Yeah, I think we...
We're not doing that.
We're not,
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Not that one.
All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And the ball comes up from the stick of the Iroquois, ahead to Tyler Garrison. Garrison running the break, dishes that across, and there's a score! Surprised to see Montour running an offensive shift.
Yes, me too.
There's a goal! Miles Thompson! Oh my goodness! Hello, Sports Center!
You know, I've been around a long time, and, you know, even the coaches all kind of looked at each other and did the...
Miles Thompson dishes one behind the back.
Behind the back, yeah. I think I had a nightmare about it last night. No,
Directly into Steve Priolo's back.
not a great shot. Again, a carry and shoot.
But turned over to Lyle Thompson, and he scores. Steve Priolo, the sloppy pass.
Guys that can play offense playing out of the deep door.
So fed up front. Craig Point scores. Craig Point finishes a feed from Miles Thompson.
So we have come to halftime here, and the Canadians have never lost at the World Indoor Lacrosse Championships. They're in jeopardy of having that happen now.
They've played a game, we haven't played a game. We need to play faster.
You know they're gonna go make a couple adjustments. I don't care what they do. We know our defense, we know our offense.
Play together, trust each other, and let's go, boys, all right? Let's go. Let's go, boys.
0. Let's line up and go win the third, fellas.
Welcome back to On-Center War Memorial. If the Iroquois win, they will have beaten the two primary contenders and basically are going straight to the semifinals. Stotts down low to Miles Thompson. Stotts scores. Randy Stotts, straight overhand to the back of the net. and it is 7-4. And there's a goal, an answer from Chris Corbeil. Unexpected. Fed in front. And there's a goal. We're tied up. It's Mark Matthews. And these World Games have seen some very close games at some of the other levels. And there's a score from Shattler. Jeff Shattler, straight overhand to the back of the net. They wave it off. They're waving it off. The crowd not happy.
So this is kind of make or break this possession.
Goodwin's shot is wide. Loose ball gets kicked around and goes back to Bold. 30 seconds remaining.
That's most likely going to do it.
If you are the Iroquois, Randy, how much does this feel like a disappointment to you?
I don't know. This has got to sting because it kind of did feel earlier in the game that they had this game and they kind of got off their game plan and let it slip away.
Where does that venison come from? Right there in the woods. It was walking around yesterday.
All of the nations are very impressed by what's going on here at Onondaga. And perhaps Onondaga is the only nation, the only indigenous nation that I'm aware of that could have pulled this off. So in other words, all of the elements were set for this to happen at Onondaga. It is our capital, it's our spiritual center, our Grand Council meets here. And lacrosse is essential to the identity of the Onondaga because it's our place, it's setting us. It's where the peacemaker came, it's where our chiefs meet. So it's only fitting that the first World Championship on Indigenous land would take place in this arena.
The host team, the Iroquois Nationals, face England.
For me, my lacrosse self would love to see the Iroquois win the tournament on home soil. But from an England point of view, it'd be lovely to get a result.
There's a big check to start the game off, and England gets the ball back. A breakaway from Michael Gillen. Oh, a little bit high. They are pushing it. They're going to run the ball every chance they get. Trying to push the pace. Here come the Iroquois. 3-on-1, 1-on-none, and they score, burying it for the Iroquois. Randy Stotts with the ball behind the back. Lyle Thompson's going to let it rip and score. Iroquois setting up Jeff Shattler in the offensive zone. He's going to get it right on the crease to Lyle Thompson. Just like that, Lyle Thompson has a pair.
And Jeff Shattler must have 2 or 3 assists at least in this first few minutes of play.
I like passing the ball more than scoring. When you set up a goal where he's shooting in a wide open net, I think I get more satisfaction out of something like that. And if you have a better opportunity of putting in the ball in the net with another guy's stick, then you give it to him. As long as we keep that mentality to not play for the name on the back but our nation on the front, then I think we're going to do great things out there.
Austin Stotts, number 89, is on the floor. Lyle Thompson spins, slips. Jeff Shattler shooting, he scores.
And that's just 2 hits.
Oh, that's just great passing.
Tic-tac-toe, Lyle to Randy, over to Shattler.
There's a goal. Randy Stotts gets things rolling. That's just amazing.
Yep.
Picks up his own rebound, perfect timing, great body control.
The talent level is so far apart at this moment.
It was kind of unbelievable to sit on the bench and watch that. It was just one of those games, like you said, the ball was hot, feet were hot, and we came out and it showed.
When I was a little girl, I helped my mother with the chores. Then I would go to the river to swim. We play tag and swing on a swing. I love to feel the hot summer heat. Couldn't stand shoes upon my feet. I am the youngest of 14. I am a rich girl, can't you see? My mother was the kindest you couldn't meet. Her eyes, they sparkled and her smile so sweet. She loved babies, held them to her cheek. She made everyone feel unique. She was known for her butter and cream. So throughout our community, she made sure we had extra money. I am a rich girl, can't you see?
When they talk about lacrosse as our medicine, it is. And it's medicine not only for the men, but it's medicine for the women. It's healing. It's emotional, it's healing, and it's our medicine, not only for the game of lacrosse, but the food. And we believe that the food does have medicine.
Pope Francis will address the United Nations General Assembly on Friday, visit the 9/11 Memorial and celebrate Mass at Madison Square Garden. The final leg of his journey will be a visit to Philadelphia.
Going to New York and Philadelphia was extremely important. It was important enough for us to leave these games and these events that we've been waiting for our entire lives. It really broke my heart for us to have to leave them, but that this important work, it doesn't end. It continues on, regardless of what we have planned or what we don't have planned. And it was so important to address it. The opportunity that the Pope came here in our territory, it was one that we couldn't let go by. So our first demonstration was in Philadelphia. We formed a gathering of Indigenous leaders from all over what is considered North America and South America, what we call Turtle Island.
You can't come to someone else's nation and someone else's home and say you already own that before you've taken it up with the original nation, the original people. And this is part of what's been called the doctrine of discovery, which is really the doctrine of domination and dehumanization.
Yesterday was the day that Pope Francis decided to make a saint out of the man who brought colonization and genocide and slavery to my ancestors in California. Junipero Serra, despite the vigilant protests of Indigenous peoples throughout California and the world, our appeals to Pope Francis went unheard, and Junipero Serra was made a saint anyway. Because what the Pope did is an ongoing and continued act of erasure. It's a continuing moment of oppression which illustrates that the doctrine of discovery is still very much alive and well today.
We, as Indigenous people, we're not going anywhere. We are here. Our people are here. It doesn't matter how big the group is. It doesn't matter how many people are here with us today. We have our ancestors who stand behind us.
So these amazing leaders came together in agreement to form a coalition, if you will, a continental coalition, to fight the doctrine of discovery and ask for it to be rescinded. People have this misconception that it's dated in history, and that it's only relative to court cases or, what happened in the past, and it's alive and well today. We saw that when we were invited to be with the Pope in New York City at the 9/11 Memorial, the Interfaith Prayer Circle. We were invited to speak with him and for our Tadadaho Sid Hill to be on a panel with other interfaith, interreligious leaders. And then just before the event, we were notified that only the recognized religions of the UN would be allowed to be sitting with him. And so we took that in stride, as our message from Grand Council was, one, to keep with a good mind while we're going in peace and friendship. And so I kept having to remind myself. As we entered security, our Tadadaho's headdress was taken from him, and we're told by Secret Service that it was a security threat.
Our leadership was denied entry, they said, because those horns were pointed So I don't know whether they expected Tadadaho to lower his head in charge.
And so I challenged that because that's my nature. And it was very painful. I was trying to explain to the Secret Service that that signifies his title as our spiritual leader and who he is, and that you can't take that off of him. No more would you take the hat off the Pope. I mean, that's representative of our culture and who we are. So it was a very painful process. We went in and sat down in the last row, as we were no longer invited to be sitting amongst him there. And then this woman came and spoke, thanking the Haudenosaunee, thanking the Iroquois nations for being present at this event. And it was such an irony. It was, you know, you're saying one thing and you're doing another. And that's what we need to speak about. That's the doctrine, alive and well. Cardinal Dolan took the stage and was talking about how the United States was founded.
Our ancestors came here for religious freedom, and they found in New York City an atmosphere of respect and appreciation for religious diversity.
And it was, I was incensed because, you know, it's on the backs of indigenous peoples, you know, the killing, the genocide that took place in order for them to take it over, and that you could so callously just brush over it, like with this broad stroke, like it's just history, and it doesn't exist, or it's not painful. It's absurd. So when we left, we were guaranteed by the Secret Service that his Gusteau would be secured and looked after in an appropriate fashion. And his Gusteau was sitting on an empty table, and there was no one around it. I wanted to cry. It was so, that was a really terrible moment to see his headdress, which signifies his responsibility. It's not about power, it's not about being elite, it's about a responsibility that he has for our people. And to see it treated in such a manner, it was truly dehumanizing and very painful.
Hello, lacrosse friends. It is our pleasure to bring you this semifinal game. On the line, a spot in the gold medal game at the WILC. This is a nice crowd up here tonight.
The stands are absolutely packed up, both sides of the arena.
Standing room at the end.
Yep.
Nice face-off win there by Jeremy Thompson. We've grown accustomed to that.
Match up! Match up!
Greg Point, flip pass. Big hit. Brett Manny.
Manny is just a beast.
10 seconds to get the ball across mid-floor. Joe Walters scores. He has been mighty for the United States.
Here we go, next one. Over and done with, next one.
Sid Smith with the breakout pass. Garrison running. He's got Jerome Thompson. Heine Thompson. Saved by Mather. That's a great save by David Mather.
Hey, way to get to it. Way to get a piece of it.
Gotta go. That's a beautiful pass. Lyle Thompson is ripped by Brett Manny. David Mather just puts his hand on Lyle's back, and there's Lyle Thompson for you. He just gets up and runs to the bench.
Looked like it was in the back from here.
Joe Resitaris pass across.
What the hell?
Buchanan up to Walters. He's going to let it go again, and another goal. Walters, 2 for 2, makes it 2-0, and he is fired up as he is supposed to be.
You could feel it in the arena, anxiousness on the bench. You know, as a coach, you can't affect anything except with your mouth. So it was Bang, bang, 2-0.
We got to get to the middle of the floor. Where did 2 goals come from? Right up top. We dropped too low, and we dropped out.
Hey, got to dig out some loose balls here, right? We can do better, right? Plain and simple. We all know it. Let's buckle down here, right?
Shot clock as Shattler runs through, creates some space. Shattler with a pass on the move behind the back. Brett chooses the goal transition, mostly turning to the air block. Gets some other offense pays off.
Yeah, a guy hitting for the New England Black Wolves. He gets it done. It was a beautiful shot.
Right in, bro.
Jake, stay deep, Jake.
Very good players from these 2 teams have sat out games. There's a shot at goal by Lyle Thompson.
Good job, boy. Way to dig in after those 2 early ones, right?
Top center!
Transition right. And there's Randy Stotts. Look at that shot. There you go. We hope you're enjoying this stream. We hope you're enjoying that Craig Boyd shot. Ellis gets it behind the net. Shots goes down and scores. And actually, there's a shot by Miles Thompson around the outside. There's a shot, Johnny Tallis. Not too much. Crazy stuff. There's a beautiful goal. Roger Weiss.
We're flowing it right now, right? We need to change. We're losing guys, we're giving up rebounds, we're not getting out on the ball.
Good half, over and done with. Pat yourself on the back, and now let's move on. Reset it to 0-0, start setting your sights on winning the 3rd.
Take your heads up and don't allow goals this quarter. Have some respect for the thing on the front of your jersey.
We gotta go. Here we go, White. Iroquois on 3. 1, 2, 3. Iroquois.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself. It's halftime. We've got 30 minutes to go. Let's go play lacrosse the way we know how. USA! 1, 2, 3! USA! Let's go! Get it!
Coleman has the ball, but has it knocked away. Brandon Goodwin protecting it. Iroquois will get the ball, and Randy Stotts will come forward. 30 minutes away from punching their ticket to the gold medal championship game. And Randy Stotts has a look over at Brett Manny. Manny, as Stotts tried to get up, just popped him down to the ground.
Good work, guys. Good stop. Good stop. He's going to the net. He's going to the net.
Aaron Thule with the dive, goes across.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. One stop now.
Stotts tries to pass it back to him. It's going to be a race to the ball. And then
Joel White has legs.
Nobody's going to catch him. Scores. Joel White, 2 goals in a row for the USA.
They got the first 2 last half. Settle in and answer, all right?
Shattler trying to hit the man across. Quick stick, what a goal! Are you kidding me, Miles Thompson? Lyle Thompson off the bench, scores. Lyle Thompson to Shattler, great pass behind the back. Johnny Tallis. That will do it.
Well, the crowd is thrilled. They're really letting both teams hear it. A lot of cheers for their very strong home crowd.
Watch the live TV coverage of Iroquois Nationals and Canada.
Good job.
Win this thing, all right?
That's the plan, brother. That's the plan, yeah. All right, thanks, man. Good luck in the bronze.
Did you get Keenan?
All right.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, make sure you pack it.
Most of the time tonight, we want to stick to pretty much 5-on-5. The other big thing is discipline.
Make sure we get to the middle, set it up, pick up from there. All right? Do not bail out and try and go pressure a defensive guy because they got athletes all over the floor.
Stick to the game plan. Trust it. It's a long game. Don't get rattled by anything that happens early. Hey, they're going to get around us every once in a while. That's the first step. We got to know the next step. So don't get, oh, they did this, so now I'm going to worry about my man. I'm going to make myself look good. No me on this team, right? It's all we.
They don't have much respect for us as athletes. So let's not make it an athlete game.
Let's make it about box across 5-on-5.
Play as a team, man. 5 guys, right? You don't want them spread out.
Canada has, you know, one of the best rosters ever assembled, I think. They're pretty stacked up and down.
They're on top of the world. They're on top of the mountain, you know, looking down. So, you know, they do a lot of things that, you know, other teams don't do, or they won't do a lot of things that the other teams will do. It's just the nature of the beast, and you know, it doesn't really matter what's the political stuff and all that. All that matters is, you know, come game time, what's in this rink right here.
Dan Dawson, Sean Evans, Curtis Dixon, Mark Matthews. I could actually go down the line with their team.
Any one of the Thompson brothers, they're so fast and have so much skill and can do anything with their stick. You can never sit back and relax because they can make you hurt anytime. So you always have to be ready for anything they bring at you.
They've got it in their minds already, you know, like we're bigger than you. We're gonna show that we're faster than you.
They're a hard battling team, and their stick work is the best in the world.
You know, when you're 17-0 and nobody can touch you, then you know, you got all the confidence in the world. You know.
Good afternoon from the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York, for the gold medal game in the 2015 World Indoor Lacrosse Championships, where 3-time defending champions Canada face the homestanding Iroquois Nationals.
I just want to thank you guys for a great 10 days. I love coaching this team. You guys have all been unselfish. You've all sacrificed for the good of the team, and I just need you to do it for 60 more minutes. It's our game, it's on our territory, and it's our time. Iroquois on 3. 1, 2, 3. Iroquois! Here we go, fellas.
At this stage, at the World Games, it's definitely a dream come true. It's everything I've been working for my whole life.
Not every game I get to play in front of my own people. I feel like, you know, they're part of the game. They're in there with me. You know, they're giving me that extra motivation.
I know how important lacrosse is for our people. You know, I gotta do my job on my end, and that's to come out and play hard and, you know, win a gold. Right here at home, in front of the world, I mean, there's no better feeling.
I guess I'm just thinking back to when I was like a little kid. Everybody dreams about Game 7 or a big championship game, winning the championship in front of everybody. It's be a dream come true.
There's no doubt in anyone's mind that this group can pull this off, and you know what? What a feat it would be at home. What a feat it would be.
Thompson comes away with the ball, so the Iroquois will go on offense first.
Yeah, I expect a fast start out of both of these teams.
Shot wide by Johnny Paulus. Now it's Curtis Dixon driving in front, and he scores. Curtis Dixon, right off the opening, takes it to Sid Smith and makes it 1-0 Canada. And the Iroquois reset their offense. And there's a goal. Johnny Paulus finishes that feed from Ryan. ends up at one. Greg Point's shot snuffed out by Matt Vince, and Canada comes back, and the pace right now, well, fast.
Not a lot of patience. Not a lot of patience by either team right now. They're looking to go to the net hard, double it when it gets on the corner, and if they flip it, they look to slide across and help out.
And there's another goal, left-handed finish. That goal from Heine Thompson. Sean Evans' shot swallowed up by Goodleaf, but he gets the ball back. It's 2-on-1 if he wants it. And he scores. Sean Evans, a tremendous play to get the ball back for the Canadians. And then...
It's over and done with. Short, here we go.
Jeremy Thompson comes up with that. And there's a goal for the Iroquois. It's Miles Thompson. Canada has 6 forwards out on the floor, 10 seconds to shoot. Comes over to Matthews, he feeds it in front. Dixon scores! Nifty little play to get over to Dawson. And he scores. Dan Dawson on the left-hand side with Schattler. And he scores. Schattler bangs it off the post. He makes it a 5-4 game. As Dixon gets that over to Smith. Smith tries to drive in, and he scores. As the Iroquois come down, heavy left. Get that ball down to Randy Stotts, and he scores. Randy Stotts, nice little bounce shot, sneaks past Matt Vince, and we're back to a 1-goal game. And that one stopped by Goodleaf. Jeremy Thompson misses the ball. We'll see the timeout probably will be Canada taking it.
You guys listen to anything? Only had the whole bench yelling. We're allowed to call it from the bench, right? We're allowed to call it from the bench.
So, we've come to the half.
We knew that's a good team down there. We know they're going to play hard. We knew that. So, no surprises here.
I think the big thing right now is discipline. Stay out of the box. I didn't agree with all those calls, but they're making them.
Do not allow their defenders to rest on defense. We got to run them.
Offense, keep firing, all right? A little bit shaky back there. If you notice, he's looking behind him almost every time.
Let's prove we are the better team. Let's go, boys.
Outwork, out-execute, and outsmart them. We know the end result. A on 3. 1, 2, 3, hey!
They were one shot better than the second half. For 30 minutes, they could only beat us by 1, fellas. I know you guys know deep down in your hearts we can be 2 shots better than them this half. We might be 3 shots better than them. All I know is every one of you guys is going to grab the rope and pull it till we yank them over that line. We're going to do it. Let's go. Iroquois on 3. 1, 2, 3. So we're
right back to the action. Jeremy Thompson drawing against Jordan McIntosh. And Jeremy Thompson has been outstanding at the X. And the Iroquois have the first possession. And Vince has his first save of the second half.
Here we go, we're all right. We're getting them, boys. We're getting them. We're outworking them, boys.
Adam Bomberry comes up with the loose ball. Got a problem now as he's been dogged, and it goes to Dan Dawson, and he scores. Dan Dawson.
Happens, over and done with.
Now fed in front. And a score. The garbage pickup there. And a quick goal for the Iroquois.
I wonder if they're discussing whether another one of the players was in the crease, disallowing that goal.
And they are disallowing the goal, saying the player was in the crease.
That looked like a real bang-bang play. I don't know how the guy could come in and make that call.
First of all, how come he was there? He made the call. Who called it off? Who called it?
Richie Kilgore's not happy about it. I have to agree with him here that he'd be really frustrated.
There should be, I saw it or I didn't see it, and we shouldn't have to have a discussion.
Exactly, it shouldn't be off a discussion.
Iroquois on the offense feed that over. Ryan Dilks with some strong defense. Penalty back behind the play. Crowd very frustrated at this point.
It looked like the Canadian player really flopped on that play, and the ref bought it.
As Mark Matthews works inside, feeds it across. And now is kind of crunch time for the Iroquois. Got to make something happen, right?
It's the next couple minutes are critical. You know.
There it is. There it is. Jeff Shattler finishes the cross crease feed. Campbell with the ball. Gets to the front of the net, feeds it over to McIntosh. Great save by Goodley. Sticks up the left arm and chicken wings it away. And Jordan McIntosh snake bit, shaking his head as he walks away. What a play to end the third quarter.
Right? I don't like the calls that have been made against us. We got 15 minutes, and I don't know about you. It's time that we stand up, back him up the way he's backing us up. Let's go.
Lyle Thompson drives the net and scores! Lyle Thompson with the face dodge and the finish over Matt Vince's shoulder. It's 8-7. Lots and lots of time left.
Smart little kick over.
Johnny Powell, that feed. This is very dangerous. Steve Priolo, and he scores. Canada goes back to a 2-goal lead.
Everyone throw one more log on the fire right now. Let's go.
Okay, better be careful. They might have numbers here.
And Stefan LeBlanc is
There's the number.
And he scores. Stefan LeBlanc.
Keep going. Keep going.
Moving the ball quickly. Shattler gives it back to Lyle Thompson. Randy Stotts. And he scores. Randy Stotts answers the call. Makes it 10-8 as the motion play works for the Iroquois.
Keep going to the net hard. Keep going to the net hard.
Fed in front now. Miles Thompson. Great save by Matt Vince. Can't finish there, and the ball comes up to Kyle Rubish. Miles Thompson also out on the floor. That shot wide by Lyle Thompson. Miles can't control it. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Everyone's telling him to shoot, gets a piece. If that ball can come up,
keeps it
between
alive.
the legs. Great save by Matt Vince. Miles Thompson shoots it.
I would have liked to see them be a little more patient on that.
And there's a goal from Sean Evans. That may be the one that is too much for the Iroquois to overcome.
Any glimpse of goal they see, they're going to rip.
Off of Vince, gets a fresh 30. Miles can't handle that.
Looked like a push.
That did, but they're not going to get that call, and so you got Scott Campbell again, open net. And there's the goal for Curtis Dixon. So with 1 minute and 1 second left, rather than killing the time, Canada decides the goal is more important. Ball stays with the Iroquois. Miles Thompson feeds it in front to Lyle. And Vince with one more, as if he needed one more, in a game in which they now have him seeing 84 shots on goal. An exclamation point there as Canada wins the 2015 World Indoor Lacrosse Championships 12-8. The Canadians come away victorious again, and again unbeaten.
Played an amazing team today. It could have really gone either way. The Iroquois Nationals deserve a lot of credit. They refused to die. It was one of the best lacrosse games I've ever seen in my life. And I got to tell you something. Like, I mean, we hear a lot this week about how it's, you know, the Haudenosaunee game, and it is. But when it comes to box lacrosse, you know what? We respect that. But Canadians invented the box lacrosse rules. We invented the box lacrosse game, and that's our game. And sometimes people need to speak up for that too, because we're competitors as well.
This belt is called One Dish, One Spoon. It's one of the oldest belts that we have. When our Confederacy was first made so long ago, the leaders sat there and they said, how shall we speak? How shall we address our people to instruct them? And they came to the conclusion of one dish, one spoon. Everybody share equally. Everybody work together. And the dish is the world. And each of us have a spoon and we're going to share. And we can instruct people to do that. 7.3 billion people in the world to share, then this is well worth it. And so we present this to our Canadian brothers. Thank you. Thank you.
A lot of times they don't comprehend what the big picture is on all this. They just love the game, play the game. They played their hearts out. The Iroquois Nationals, we lost game after game after game, year after year. We've lost many games, but we've never been defeated. I know that the 12 participating countries are going to go home and they're going to talk about what they saw. And they're going to talk about today's reality. Going to go a lot farther than the arenas we were playing in. It's going to resonate. It's going to be helpful to our people. It's going to be helpful to the earth. We always say the ball is a medicine, and the ball will go where it will go. And the best that you can do is put your mind to where it's going to go. But it will go where it will go.
And Wado and Hagen Hagayat Nagwetage Disa Unu Guasan Iwado Yo Hajine Yo Hajine Yo Hajine Yo Hajine, Yo Hajine, Yo. Yeah.
Show your face to the wind. Put your hand in the water. Feel the cool of the night and the flame so bright. Take a walk on the mountain. Hear the beat of our mother. Put your hands on the drum. Welcome the thunder. Yea, Naguaya, Arda. Yea, Naguaya, Arda. Show your face to the wind. Put your hand in the water. Feel the cool of the night and the flames so bright. Take a walk on the mountain. Hear the beat of our mother. Put your hands on the drum.